Hello everyone, welcome to another video of React.js 19 tutorial series. In this video, we are going to learn about React control component. In React, a control component is an HTML form or HTML input elements whose value is managed by the React state itself, which means whatever we type to the input element, first it goes to the React state and then React updates the UI. In the last video, we saw a completely different approach of handling the DOM updates, where instead of React managing everything, the DOM updated first and then we used useRefHook to fetch the updated values. In case of useRefHook, all the input values were getting stored inside the DOM, not in the React state. Whereas if we use control component, the input values will get stored inside the React state and React will decide how to render the UI. Let's understand this with the help of a new requirement where we want to disable the submit button for few specific words. For that, we have to find out a way for which we can get the real-time access to the input values. And let's understand this with the help of an example. So this is the code from my previous video where I was using the reference variables to access the input values and we used useRefHook. Now I want to convert this component into a controlled component. For that, let me get rid of these reference attributes and also I'm going to remove all the code related to the useRefHook. Now I have to handle everything using the use state hook. For that, first thing will be to create the state variable for that. Here I am using the use state hook to create the state variables, and this is imported from the React library. And let me give it a meaningful name. For post title, I have given post title and a setter method for the post title. Similarly, I have to create one more state variable for the post content. Let me give it a meaningful name and a setter method again. And inside the here we have to provide the comma and initial value will be an empty string. So now we have to attach these two state variables to the corresponding input elements. For that, we have to use the value attributes. And as a value, we have to pass the state variables. By doing this, the state and the input values are in sync. But for now, these values holds the initial values which we had given to the states variable, that is the empty string. But we want on each key press the states value needs to be updated. For that, we can assign an event handler functions to the onChange attribute. Inside the onChange attribute, we can assign a function and this function can accept the optional event object, and here we have to update the state. For post title, we can use the setter method, and to pass the key value we can use the event object dot target dot value. Similarly, for the post content, another event handler function and here the optional event object, and now the setter method for the post content, and similarly e dot target dot value. So by doing this, the React states will get updated in the real time. So as we keep typing to the input elements, the React states will get also updated. So to confirm this, I can go ahead and create another HTML element just below the input elements. And here, let me print the state values. By doing this, we should be able to see the changes to the states values in the real time. So as we keep typing to the input elements, we should see the changes happening in the paragraph elements as well. So we can see here initially the post title and the post content are the empty string. And if I keep typing to the input elements, we can see it is getting reflected immediately to the states variable as well. So this is how we can use React control components to access the real-time values of the input elements. And as an exercise, you can perform the validations to the input elements for the bad words. This is all about this video. I'll see you in the next one.